What would you do if the person who spent years looking down on you, who smugly insisted their life was superior to yours, suddenly came to you for help when it all fell apart? In today's story, my choice was a masterclass in how to handle it. My whole family thinks I'm an asshole, but I disagree. Or maybe, I just think my actions were justified. When my sister, Olivia, and I were kids, we hated each other. It wasn't just sibling rivalry. Olivia was genuinely hard to get along with, a trait that left her with no friends then, and no friends now as an adult. She's the kind of person who is constitutionally incapable of admitting fault. In her mind, she is always right, and an apology is a foreign concept. Then, she drank the tradwife Kool-Aid. After meeting her husband, Ethan, in college, she got pregnant, dropped out, and fully embraced that life. They now have 4 children together, all under the age of 8. The situation is made even more challenging as their youngest is a quadriplegic, the result of spinal damage from a birth defect. My life took a different path. I just finished law school and am starting my career. My husband, Mark, already has an established career, and we're what's known as dinks, double income, no kids. We're happy with our choice and don't intend on having any children. This difference has been a constant source of friction. At family events, Olivia would talk down to us, her voice dripping with condescension. "You'll never know what true, unconditional love is," she'd say, pitying our supposedly empty lives. She lectured me from her self-appointed pedestal, completely unaware that the very foundation of her superior life was about to crumble into dust, forcing her to come begging to the very person she scorned. Lately, the cracks in her perfect life started showing. My mother told me Olivia and Ethan have been fighting constantly. It turns out he's been financially abusing her for years. He has never allowed her access to his income. All the bills are in his name, and he just gives her cash for groceries like an allowance. And to top it all off, he's been cheating. As one commenter wisely pointed out, this is the inherent danger of the tradwife fantasy. When it works, but when it goes wrong, one person holds all the power. Some women get swept up in the idea of being taken care of, but they don't stop to think what happens 10 years down the line when their husband trades them in for a younger model, leaving them with no money, no job skills, and a handful of kids. So, my sister came to me, her world collapsing. She asked if I could watch her 4 kids every weekend, indefinitely, so she could get a job and save up enough money to evaluate her options, a clear euphemism for leaving her husband. I looked at her, this woman who had belittled my life choices for years, now asking me to sacrifice my weekends, my career-building time, and my peaceful home for her. I let a small, cold smile touch my lips. "But isn't being a traditional wife your calling?" I asked, my voice intentionally light. "You've told us this several times. You must have forgotten, but traditional wives aren't supposed to work," she stammered, trying to explain that maybe being a tradwife wasn't for her after all. The desperation was plain on her face, but the irony was too rich. I let out a small laugh. Finally, I shut it down. My voice was flat, devoid of the sympathy she was hunting for. "No," I said, "you picked this life, Olivia. The life that you always insisted was so superior to mine. Now it's time to learn to deal with the problems that come with it." This reveals Olivia's greatest fatal flaw, her absolute conviction in her own righteousness. She had spent years burning every bridge, never considering she might one day need to cross back over. Of course, she had no other options. Our relatives don't live close enough to help. Our dad is away working on an oil pipeline, and our mom is already overworked and too old to handle 4 young children, one with severe needs. Olivia had already asked our parents if she and the kids could move in with them, but my dad shut that down immediately. He can't really stand her kids. And here is the ultimate hypocrisy. As another commenter perfectly stated, "How can my family call me an asshole for not taking on a burden that they themselves refuse to carry? They demand I step in to fix this, but when asked if they are helping, the answer is no." The sentiment that I am somehow bad because I won't do something that they themselves won't do is illogical and manipulative. They want to pass their responsibility on to me. So now, my whole family is furious with me, but I'm not shouldering the consequences of my sister's choices. She made her bed, and now she has to lie in it. Ultimately, this is a harsh lesson that when you build your life on a foundation of scorning others, you can't expect them to be your safety net when it all collapses. But what do you think? Was I justified in my refusal to help after years of her condescension? Or should family ties mean you have to help, no matter what? Let me know in the comments below.